Suppose on a film set an actor is filmed and recorded with a boom microphone, and in hindsight the director decides to replace one or two of his lines. Now a sound engineer needs to get the actor into the studio, have him speak those two lines, and he has to make them sound like the original recording. That process is called matching, and Altiverb is the way to do it. Because if you have the acoustics of the original film set, then you're almost there. And we devised some practical ways to get those acoustics. And to make my point, I want to show you that my voice can sound like a speaker. And to do that, I need a super dry recording, so I went into a room without acoustics at all.
Heb je die? Neem die twee anderen ook mee. Ik weet niet of ik nog genoeg heb. Oh, en de fietspomp.
And when I played that sentence back, I stood next to the speaker and just repeated the words.
Ik weet niet of ik nog genoeg heb. Oh, en de fietspomp. Heb je die? Neem die twee anderen ook mee. Ik weet niet of ik nog genoeg heb.
Now that is close enough for most purposes. So now I know that when I make an impulse response with a sweep and a nice speaker, I can get close enough to reality. But that's not really gonna happen on a film set. So let me show you something more practical. Het hemelse gerecht heeft zich ten lange leste ontfermd over mij en mijn benauwde vesten. Now what I'm gonna do is use this, a Tivoli PAL radio available anywhere, and a playback device. This could be your iPod. And play back a sweep. And now all I need is the same line dry. And I'll do that here in this much drier studio. Het hemelse gerecht heeft zich ten lange leste ontfermd over mij en mijn benauwde vesten. Now let's see if they can match. So here are my recordings. I have the boomy room. Het hemelse gerecht heeft zich ten lange leste. The dry take. Het hemelse gerecht. And some room tone. Now let's bring all of that into Pro Tools. The boomy room, this is the sentence on track 1. The dry take on track 2, and some of that room tone underneath. Now it is supposed to sound like the boomy room. Het hemelse gerecht. But it sounds like this. Heeft zich ten lange leste. So we need some Altiverb in the dry channel. There's Altiverb, and I'll switch to the IR import tab here right away. Now in that boomy room take, I'll go look for the sweep file. That's it. And here's the end blip. I'll select including starting and end blip, and now I'll let Altiverb know first what to expect. It is not going to be a sweep played back through a quality speaker. It's going to be a sweep played back through a Tivoli PAL portable radio. So that's what I'll click. And I'll just drop that sweep file onto Altiverb. It crunches numbers, and then the impulse response shows up there. I'll have to switch on the direct sound to make it sound completely. And now let's listen to that dry track again. Het hemelse gerecht heeft zich ten lange leste. I think it could use some more low. So, how about... Heeft zich ten lange leste. And with the room tone underneath. Gerecht heeft zich ten lange leste ontfermd over mij. It may sound quite much like that original one. Ontfermd over mij en mijn benauwde vesten. Another one. Het hemelse gerecht heeft zicht en lange lesten, ontfermt over mij en mijn benauwde vesten. That's a close enough starting point for most situations. But it doesn't stop there, because I can make impulse responses out of even crappier stuff than sweeps played back through a portable Tivoli PAL radio. I can make impulse responses out of Danicky or ambient slate claps. And because we already found out how close a speaker gets to reality, we only needed to find out the differences between impulse responses made with speaker sweeps and those made with slate claps. And we put those differences in reverse in Altiverb. Here's my boomy room. Het hemelse gerecht. And here's my dry track. Heeft zicht en lange lesten. So my dry track needs some Altiverb. I'll switch to the IR import tab right away. And I'll tell Altiverb right away to expect some slate claps. And here they are. My slate claps are here. I have some of them in that room. So edit one out, drag it onto Altiverb. I'll switch on the direct sound again. And now we'll listen to that dry track again. Het hemelse gerecht heeft zicht en lange lesten. And the original. Ontfermt over mij en mijn benauwde vesten. I'll switch back and forth a little bit. Het hemelse gerecht heeft zicht en lange lesten. Ontfermt over mij en mijn benauwde vesten. So if you come across a slate clap on one of the reels, you have a really good starting point for some dialogue matching. Now, thanks for watching this video. Bye bye.